Hello everyone, welcome to the third lesson in Semantics and Pragmatics. This lesson is going to be about theories of word meaning. So the first theory is the reference theory or the naming theory. This theory defines the meaning of a word in terms of the object the word refers to in the real world. Words are names and labels for things and objects. For example, the word table refers to the object with four legs made of wood, for example. Okay, so this reference theory, we have a word, but we have something that a word refers to in the real world, in real life. Okay, when we say, for example, a tree, we have the word tree and we have the object, the tree that we have in the real world. So the problem of this theory is that it is only a name relationship. So it does not define the meaning of things. Okay, it does not give us much about, for example, what is a tree, what is the meaning of a tree, but it only names it. But it only gives them names. So the other problem is that it is only applicable to some extent with proper nouns. However, difficult to apply with abstract nouns and grammatical notions. So, for example, let's say we have a word tree, and then we have the object tree in the real world. Okay, but we have some words that we cannot apply reference theory to. We cannot, for example, when we say devil, okay, when we say happiness, God, religion, or something. So we have these words that are abstract. We cannot apply, we cannot have, these words do not refer to an object in the real life. Okay? We don't have an object that is, for example, that refers to happiness or something, or that happiness refers to. So this theory is really limited. It is a theory of word meaning, very old, but it is limited. It's not applicable for all words. And we have here grammatical notions. For example, what is however, or what is adjective, a noun, a verb. Okay, these grammatical notions they don't have a reference. Okay, they don't refer to anything in the real world. They're just abstract. Okay, and then we have the image theory. The meaning of a word is the image that evokes, sorry, the image that evokes in the mind of the speaker or the hearer. In other words, the meaning of a word is explained in terms of the image that we store in our brain. For example, when you say, for example, again, let's go with a table or a tree, you have an image in your mind of this object. Okay, so here it's this image theory is about the image. When we say something, a word, we have an image of that word in our mind. The image evokes in our mind. Okay, it could be even a person. When you remember, when you want to name someone, for example, your friend, when you think about your friend, you have an image of him in your mind. How does he look like, etc. Or a tree or a table. So we have all images. We have images of these objects, these things in our mind. Okay, it is problematic again because different people may have different images about the same thing. For example, when we say a table, people think, for example, of a table as four-legged object with a wood surface. For example, they have this wood surface. Some people would think it made of glass. For example, the surface is made of glass or iron or other materials. Okay, so depending, for example, you have a table at home. When someone mentions a table, you have this image of a table that you have at your home pops up. Okay, but other people may have different tables at home, and then when you mention the word, for example, table, other images uh, pops up. Okay, so we don't have the same image about the same thing. Tables, We have different types of tables, different types of trees. When we think about these, we have different, images that evoked in our minds. So it's not exact. So images are in the mind. The other thing, okay, what makes it even more difficult is that the images are in the mind, so we cannot see them. We cannot verify their meaning. Okay, something that that is not tangible. We cannot test if this is the right meaning or not, because the meaning is the images are in our minds, and you cannot. I mean, they're not accessible to. You're not access them to verify the their meaning, whether the meaning is valid or not. Okay, so this is another problem. And let's move on to the concept theory. The concept theory here, the meaning of words is the concept of things people have in mind. Just like image, we have my images in mind. Here we have concepts in mind. In other words, the meaning of a word is the concept associated with that word. Sapir, 1921, explains that it is of a convenient capsule of thought that embraces thousands of distinct experiences and that is ready to take in thousands more. This definition seems to be vague and not clear. Why? Because it is of a convenient capsule of thought. What does this capsule of thought mean exactly? Okay, so Kimson 1977 sums up a Sapir's idea. Okay, sums up Sapir's idea of a concept as a convenient capsule of thought. She states that to discuss linguistic meaning in terms of such entities is to put forward claims that are entirely untestable and hence vacuous. Since we have no independent means outside of the linguistic evidence for studying the properties of these capsules of thought, to talk about meaning in terms of concepts does no more than substitute for the problem term meaning the equally opaque term concepts. So basically comes in here, she states that this definition of concept as a capsule, as a convenient capsule of thought, it doesn't really solve the problem. It only adds it only substitute for the problem determining the equally opaque. It only uh, substitute one problem with the other, because we need now, because at the beginning we were thinking about the meaning of concepts, and now we have again to think about what is the capsule of thought. Okay, so we we didn't really solve the problem. We only add in more opaque and vacuous uh, words that need in themselves, I mean, that need again to explain. Okay, so this definition of Sapir, it doesn't really solve the problem. What is the concept? It only substitutes one problem by the other. Okay, so all the previous theories are limited. They have more problems than solutions. Hence, we are left with two theories: sense relations and componential analysis. So these are the theories that are more adequate, okay, toward the meaning. So the componential analysis is an approach derived from structuralism. It describes the meaning of words in terms of combinations of meaningful components that make up the meaning of words. It describes the meaning of words through structured sets of semantic features which are given as present or absent. So basically this componential analysis, we have this component. Okay, we have component. That is, words are derived, that is, words are associated with components, meaningful components. Okay, combinations. For example, when we say a man, a man is described as these components. What are these components? Using, of course, these are called semantic features, plus and minus. So we have plus and minus. Man, for example, is plus human, plus male, plus mature, plus adult. So the the man is described in terms of these components. This is why we have this componential analysis. Okay, so for example, a man or any word is described in terms of components that are associated with these words, that are which are meaningful components. Okay, using the semantic features plus, minus, etc. A girl, for example, is plus a human, minus male, minus mature, which is still, for example, a kid, minus adult. Okay, so these components, using this set of semantic features, we use these components to define words. Still, this theory also has limitations. Like this theory is that it only works when there is a binary opposition. We have this plus minus. For example, a man, we can have plus male minus female, or minus something. Okay, minus female, for example, or minus animal or something. We can use these binary opposites. Okay, abstract words like happiness, angel, devil cannot be described using semantic features. We cannot say plus minus when it comes to these abstract words. Okay, so it is very difficult to apply the componential analysis on abstract nouns. Still, this theory is adequate, even though we know every theory almost has limitations. Okay, so let's move on to another theory, which is called sense relations. Sense relations: any relation between lexical units within the semantic system of a language. Matthews, 1997. This relation is in this relation in meaning between lexical units may and may not express some kind of identity. Such relations can also be defined as paradigmatic relation between words and predicates. Paradigmatic relations are those into which a linguistic unit enters through being contrasted or substitutable in particular environment with other similar units. Palmer, 1981. So basically, sense relations is about the relation that we have, the semantic relation that we have between words, uh, between units, lexical units. This relation can can be expressed in some sort of identity. That is, these relation, we may have words that mean the same thing. So words that mean the same thing, they have identity. Okay, they share some identity. And we have other words that are opposites. They don't share identity, but they mean the opposite. A word, and then we have its opposite. We're going to see sense relations. So sense is divided into the following categories. When we talk about sense relations, we basically talk about uh, something like synonymy. So it is a sense relation that holds between meaning of lexical items. It is the sameness of meaning. So synonymy is the sameness of meaning, the same meaning. Words have the same meaning. Two words are synonymous if they express the same meaning. For example, scared, afraid. Okay, scared is like afraid. Smart is like intelligent. Okay, so these words share the same meaning. However, linguists believe that there is no absolute synonym. Okay, so languages do not allow redundancy. Two words may mean the same thing, but the difference may be a matter of something. Okay, so before we move on to the difference, let's go back again and explain more about this claim by linguists. Linguists believe that we don't have synonyms in languages. Okay, when we have smart and intelligent, for example, these are not actually synonyms. Okay, even though they look like they share the same meaning, but languages, they don't like redundancy. They don't like to repeat words, to have a lot of words that mean the same thing. This is not, languages are economic. Okay, they don't allow redundancy. The difference between synonyms may be a matter of dialect. That is, we have American dialect, we have British dialect, Scottish, okay, etc. So, for example, we say elevator and lift. People may see these words as synonyms, but actually they are not. They are not synonyms. Lift is used in UK. Elevator is used in America. Okay, faucet and tap. One is used faucet in British, tap in America, sorry, in UK, and tap in America. Sink, wash basin, flat, apartment. So these words, even though they look like they are synonyms, but each one of them is used in certain dialect. Okay, so the difference between synonyms could be first a matter of dialect, as we have seen in these examples, and could be also a matter of style. That is, in style we have what is informal, formal, slang, etc. So for example, dum dum is a slang word for stupid. Stupid is the neutral, the general word that people use. Okay, is okay. So we have again die. It is the general word, but people still will use pass away, which is euphemistic. Okay, ride again. People use ride, which is general word, but some poets they use mount in their poems. Okay, so words they don't mean the same. Dumb dumb and stupid are not the same. Die and pass away are not the same. Ride and mount are not the same. They are synonyms, but they differ in terms of style. Each one of them is used in different style. Okay, let's move on. The difference between also synonyms may be a matter of collocation, that is, certain words go together. For example, handsome and beautiful mean good looking, but handsome goes with men and beautiful goes with women. This is something that we talked about earlier. So these words they are not synonyms, but they collocate certain words. These words collocate certain other words. Then we have adult and rancid. They mean decay food, food that you no longer can eat. It's decay. You have to throw it up. Okay, so when you have to throw it. So when we have, for example, eggs. Let's look at the example of eggs. You cannot say rancid eggs, even though rancid and adult mean the same thing, but adult goes with eggs. You say we have adult eggs. We can't eat them. We have to throw them. Okay, and you have rancid bacon, for example. It goes with bacon. Okay, so these words they mean the same thing, but they collocate certain words. Each of them collocates certain words. So the difference again between synonyms could be a matter of, maybe a matter of emotive or evaluative dimension. What is this? What does this mean? It means that the attitude towards or the attitude words express. Some concepts are assigned evaluative meaning, either positive or negative. Okay, so let's look at these examples that we have in the table. So we have plum. Plum is a word, is a positive word for fat. Sometimes when someone is fat, it's really good to say that they are plum so that you don't make them nervous or angry or something, because people they don't like, for example, to call it fat. Okay, fat is a negative word. Okay, so these words are assigned attitudes. They express certain attitudes. They have this evaluative meaning. Plum and fat. For example, someone, if you call someone he is a severe, that is, it's really negative. Okay, but you can tell them, or you can say that these people or this person is serious. Okay, serious is positive. The same for slim and thin. Thin is negative and slim is positive. So these words are synonyms, right? But the difference, there is some certain difference which is which is matter of evaluative dimension. So there is certain attitude that in these words that these words express. Okay, well, let's move on to more. Let's see, we have hyponymy. So we talked about synonymy, in which we talked about dialect, we talked about style, emotive. Now let's move on to hyponymy. Hyponymy is a paradigmatic translation between words that have general meaning and words that have specific meaning. Words that have general meaning are referred to as superordinate, whereas words that have specific meaning are referred to as subordinate. Let's see this example. For example, the word dog. Dog is a word that we use to refer to the species of dogs. We can use word dog to refer to the species of dogs. Okay, it is general word, it is superordinate word, and it also means the male dog. Okay, because the female dog is bitch. So we have dog, the male, and bitch, the female. Both of them are dogs. Bitch is a dog. The dog that is superordinate. It is the general meaning of the entire species of dogs. Okay, so we say we have a species of dogs, we have a species of a human, species of chicken, for example, species species of animals, you can name it, and trees and etc. So dog is the superordinate meaning and the specific meaning and the superordinate, the subordinate. So dog can be superordinate and subordinate. The same goes with cow. Cow here is the name that we use to refer to the cow species, but still we can use it to refer to the female cow because we have bull, which is the male. So what you need to remember here is that the hyponymy, we have one word that is superordinate, which refers to the general meaning, and then we have a word that refers to the specific meaning, which is referred to, which is called subordinate. So hyponymy is usually defined in terms of unilateral implication. That is, when you say, for example, sorry, so we have this one. When you say, it should be here. When you say this is a bitch, it entails that it is a dog. But when you say this is a dog, it may mean a male dog or a bitch. Okay? So unilateral means it goes in one direction from the specific to general. Bitch, look at the table here. Bitch refers a dog. It means a dog. Okay? It means a dog, but the dog, it doesn't necessarily mean uh, uh, a male dog. It also means the general, the species name. Okay, cow means the female cow and the species cow, but bull has one meaning. Okay, bull is a dog. That's it. Bull is a cow. That's it. Sorry. So there is one direction of the meaning goes in one direction here from the specific to general. Cow can be, sorry, a bull can be a cow, that's it. But a cow can be a male, it can be a female cow and the species cow. A bitch is only a dog, but dog can be the male dog and the species dog. Hyponymy is also defined in terms of class inclusion, that is, the class of specific terms is included in the class of general terms. The class of tulips is included in the class of flowers. So let's say we have a class of flowers, okay? The class we have, for example, is the general term. For example, flowers is the general term. In this class of flowers, we have tulips, we have roses, we have other types of flowers, okay? So the specific, the class of specific terms is included in the class of general terms. Tulip is a flower. Rose is a flower. The specific term, the subordinate term is included in the superordinate term. Okay. And then we have homonymy and polysemy. Homonyms refer to the existence of two or more words having the same spelling or pronunciation, but different meanings and origins. Two or more words can be homonyms if they either sound the same. If they sound the same, we call them homophones, or have the same spelling, homographs. Okay, so the same spelling means the same alphabets, they have the same, they are written the same way. if the words are written the same way, they are homographs. If their pronunciation, okay, they are pronounced the same, they are not written the same, but they are pronounced the same, they are homophones. And we have polysemy, refers to the coexistence of many possible meanings for a word that has many meanings, okay, or a phrase. A word can be polysemous if it can be used to express different meanings. So here we are going to see examples of homonymy or homonyms, and polysemy, etc. So for example, the word see, it means vision, to see someone, okay, to see something or someone, etc. And it also, sorry, see here, okay, this one, it should be below, sorry, we can take this one on, this is C and C here, they are they don't have the same spelling, so they are homophones, not homo not homographs. Okay, we can take that up, we can take it. Okay, so we have, for example, desert. Desert means to abandon someone, okay, to desert someone, to abandon them, to leave them. And then we have desert, which means, the arid region, the desert, like uh, Sahara or something, okay. And then we have the word right and right. These are homophones, okay. They are not written the same way, but they are pronounced the same way, like C that we have just removed from the homographs. It can be used here in homophones. C and C, the vision and the body of water, they are pronounced the same way, okay, but they mean the same, they don't mean the same thing. Read and red, okay, rain and rain, bank and bank. So these words are pronounced the same way, but they are written differently. They are called homophones. Desert and desert, they are written the same way, okay, but they have different meanings. They are homographs. Now let's move on to polysemy. For example, here polysemy, we have the word get. Polysemy always written the same way and pronounced the same way. Same pronunciation, same written form. So we have get, it means to procure. For example, I will get you a drink. I will get the drinks. I will get you a drink. Okay. And then get also means become. She got scared. Here, the meaning of get means she became scared. And then we have get, which means understand. I get it. When someone says something, say, okay, I get it. I understand. So look at get. The meanings are not the same. Different meanings. The meanings are little related, but they are not the same. Okay. And then we have man. Man can be used to refer to the human species, man in general. So it includes women and men, whole the entire race. Okay. Man, and then we have man as a male person, right? So something that you need to remember about homonymy and polysemy is that polysemy has different yet related meaning. Homonymy has completely different meaning. Okay. Now, concerning the origin of these words, polysemy originally one word that gained different meaning over time. So get is just one word. Originally, it is only one word. Okay, and this word from in every period of time it gained another meaning. At the beginning it had one meaning, then later on because of people's use, etc., it gained another meaning, and then another meaning, and another meaning, and it may never stop. Okay, it will get other meanings as as we experience these words. uh, Homonymy originally different words. So if we go to desert and desert, at the beginning we had both of them at the beginning. So they are different words. It's not that one word gained another meaning, but this word exists as two different words. Okay, it existed in the beginning as two different words. They are not the same word, right? Right, etc. So either written the same or not written the same. These homonyms are words that are existed as different words. Okay. Polysemous words are listed under one entry in dictionary. So if we go to dictionary, to the word, for example, get, you will find one word, get, okay, and then we'll find the meaning one, meaning two, okay. For example, we'll give you one, it means this. Number two, it means this. Number three, it means this, okay. So we have a lot of meanings for one word, one entry. But homonyms, okay, homonyms words are listed separately. So if you go to dictionary, we'll find that word, for example, desert, okay, as two different words. With the first word, the meaning, and you will have the word again repeated with other meaning, because it's not one word, it's different words. These words, they don't belong to each other. Okay. Then we have antonymy. Antonymy refers to the oppositeness of meaning. According to Palmer, 1976, antonymy is a regular and very natural feature of language. It is a very crucial notion in language in the sense that it reveals human tendency to organize and think about experience in terms of dichotomous contrast. That is, in everyday life, people tend to define themselves in terms of similarities and differences. Sociologists say that we are what we are because they are not what we are. So antonymy is the oppositeness of meaning. So synonymy is the sameness of meaning. Antonymy is the oppositeness of meaning. And this oppositeness, it shows or reflects the human tendency that we define ourselves in terms of differences and similarities. Okay, let's give you an example. So we say, for example, something is good because we have something that is bad. Okay, if there was nothing that is bad, we will not have this word, for example, good. Something, so we have this oppositeness of meaning, bad, good. Okay, bad, for example, or good, evil. Okay, so this is something that reflects people tendency uh, about about similarities and differences. So we will have more examples. So we have here Taha Abdul Rahman says difference is the main characteristic of individuals and groups of societies. A person's thought differ from one situation to another as if we were different individuals. You see, our thought, one person one person's thought differs from one situation to another. You say something in this situation, in another situation you may something else. It's like you are a different person. It's not just one person. Group members' thoughts differ from each other as if they were different groups, etc. So antonyms can be classified into two categories. We have two categories of antonyms. We have gradable antonyms or polar antonyms. This category, it can be described in terms of degrees in the quality involved. So we have, for example, a scale from young to old. In the middle, we may have modern, we may have very young, very old, um, little old. Okay, so we have degrees are in these antonyms, in these degrees in this quality. For example, we have giant. Okay, a very giant animal, for example. Big animal is little, um, it's not big as giant. And then we have small animals. So we have degrees. Okay, small, big, giant, young, modern, old. These are gradable. We have grades in their meaning. Gradable antonyms also involve comparison. Sometimes comparison, of course, can be explicit through the use of as he is as big as his father. Okay, for example, is this uh, um, beautiful? She is this, for example, beautiful than her sister. Okay, so we have this comparison. In these gradable antonyms, we use comparison. Okay, it can also be implicit, as in the sentence, for example, my town is small. So when someone says, or when I say my town is small, I am implicitly comparing my town with other towns. Okay, my town is small. I am implicitly saying that my town is small in comparison with other towns. So I'm comparing implicitly. So this comparison can be explicit and implicit. And then we have other antonyms which are non-gradable, okay, or complementary antonyms. There are two items that form opposition. So we have in these antonyms we have oppositions, okay, words they don't mean the same thing. They are opposites, okay. The contrast between them is absolute. Okay, we're going to see the meaning of this. Two words are complementary if the denial of one word implies the assertion of the other. For example, dead and alive. The difference, okay, the contrast between them is absolute. You cannot be half dead or half alive. You are either dead or alive. You are either female or male. You are either single or married. You cannot be in the middle. It's not like gradable when we have, you can be, for example, modern, or something can be modern, not very old, not young. You can be big, not giant, not small. But here we have only two possible options. Okay, you can be either female or male. You can be either dead or alive. You can be either single or married. These are non-gradable antonyms. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video and I could catch you guys in the next one.